Hi, this is Morgan from Teen Lifeline. We are a peer-to-peer counseling hotline for teens here in Arizona. If you want to talk to a trained peer counselor, call 602-248-8336 or text between 3 and 9 p.m.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
This is the head football coach, Brandon McNutt, from the Camelback Spartans, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity!
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is home for the Dan Patrick Show.
This program is paid for by the JV Sports LLC and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you. Empowering education and enabling dreams. Right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Varsity Sports Show. Vince DeLisio here, and as part of our Summer Spotlight series, I am at an undisclosed location in Phoenix. I am at the headquarters for, is it headquarters, Morgan?
Yeah, you can say headquarters.
Okay, headquarters cool. Of Teen Lifeline, and we're going to get into more of that here in just a moment, but it's been an interesting week, to say the least. It's been a very somber week. It's what the topics that we're going to address today are not for the faint of heart, and we made sure and let our today's guests know exactly what we are doing with today's topic to give them an opportunity to not participate if they didn't want to. But as part of our Summer Spotlight series, we are featuring outstanding members of our community, outstanding organizations whose focus is on us, on people, and on doing good things for people. And that's what it's about. And we're not just a sports show. We're not just like I'm not just a pretty face here, being the voice of this program. Thank God you guys don't have to see my face as on a regular basis. But we're the Varsity Sports Show, and we encompass a lot of different things. It's not just sports. We're a community show, and we want to make it all about the community for the community. So, Aaron, hit it.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the Summer Spotlight Series, featuring outstanding members of our community. And now, here's Vince.
All right, so that being said, we're at the office, the headquarters of Teen Lifeline here in Phoenix, and I am joined by Morgan, who is a licensed social worker, and Avery, who is a volunteer peer counselor. Would you consider yourself a peer counselor? Okay, a peer counselor here at Teen Lifeline. And we're going to talk about the S word today, and that S word being suicide and suicide prevention. And it's something that it doesn't take much to stump me, and because it's a difficult topic to talk about, but it's something that does need to be discussed. And so the reason why we're doing the show today is it's a show that probably should have been done a long time ago. It's a topic that needs to be in the forefront because we now more than ever we need to look out for our kids, and we need to be there for them and try to get these topics out there and try to talk about them. Teen suicide. There was an incident with a young man, and I'll say his name, and then we are going to go on with the rest of the show. Xavier West. Zay West was a student athlete, young guy from Camelback High School, which was my alum. I'm very passionate about, very partial and very passionate about the Spartans and of what I refer to as 4 of the greatest years of my life. I'm one of those guys, yes, that looks back on their high school years very fondly. And you know, Zay West could have just as easily been me. Zay West could have been a lot of people that I knew. And Zay West was a young man that, you know, had a lot in front of him in terms of a bright future. He was a good student. He was you know, he was a handsome kid. He was a great athlete. He had the world at his fingertips, and he took his life. And there's no way to, you know, sugarcoat it. It's what happened, and that's one reason why we're sitting here today talking about this. Now, let's talk about this, because this isn't a young man that you know, was bullied. You know, that you would think of people that have issues and problems and things. We don't know. We don't know. But Morgan, I'll start with you. Let's talk about signs and why things like, and well, people don't really know why these things happen, but I'll just kind of turn it over to you and let you talk about it.
Yeah, and I think that you make a really good point that, you know, sometimes it's the people that we least expect that end up having so much pain going on inside that we can't always see. But we do know that almost everyone who dies by suicide shows us some kind of sign that they need help, or that they're not okay, or that things have changed for them. And I can't say that one thing is true for every single person who has thoughts of suicide, but we know that people who are in that headspace where they're thinking about giving up, usually is because they are feeling hopeless, like they don't think things are going to get better for them. They don't see that light at the end of the tunnel, and they're feeling really helpless. They don't know who to turn to. They don't think that really anything is going to help them. And they often feel like they are a burden on the other people in their life. And they truly believe that things would be better if they were gone, if they weren't here anymore. And sometimes that pain that they're feeling is hard for us to see if they're not talking about it. But there are some warning signs that we can look out for. And sometimes when you see these things, they do mean that someone is thinking about suicide, and sometimes they don't. But we always like to err on the side of caution. If you notice any warning signs, if you even just get that kind of bad feeling in your stomach, you know, that something's just not right. Those are all things that we want to take really seriously and make sure that we address with that person. So some of the big warning signs that we see a lot, especially from young people, are really big changes in just kind of like their daily habits. So if you notice that, you know, someone has suddenly lost interest in something that they used to care a lot about, when they start to withdraw from the people in their life or the things that they used to really enjoy doing, all of a sudden, you know, someone isn't texting their friends back, or they aren't showing up for school or for practice. Those are usually pretty big signs to us.
Let me do this, because throughout the show, we want to make sure and not just talk to everyone, you know, listening, but we want you to talk to us. And if anybody would like to call in, parent, peer, student, uncle, aunt, brother, sister, give us a call. We're here at 602-260-1060, 602-260-1060. That will get you to our studio, our radio studio, and for this hour. But also, I'd like to give you another more important phone number, and that's to Teen Lifeline. And the phone number to Teen Lifeline is 602-248-8336. There are counselors on the ready 24/7. Ready to take your call and to talk to you, and just to be a buddy, to you know, help and in whatever way they can. And so again, that number is 602-248-8336 for Teen Lifeline. Here at the studio, it's 602-260-1060 for KDUS Arizona for the Varsity Sports Show. Morgan, let's talk about the history of Teen Lifeline. So this organization is not new to the Valley. It's been around for a lot of years.
It has, yeah. We started up back in 1986, and it actually, the idea of Teen Lifeline started because of the media. after a movie came out, back when movies, like made-for-TV movies came out, before Avery's time. And it was called Surviving, and it starred Molly Ringwald. And this movie came out in 1985, which obviously in 1985, Molly Ringwald was pretty big
Breakfast
deal.
Club.
Absolutely.
That's the story of my life.
So
anyway.
She did this movie where it followed a community after a teen died by suicide.
Okay. And
this was really the first time that suicide had ever been discussed in the media, especially youth suicide. And so it got a lot of people talking. And of course, the media didn't do the best job of talking about suicide at that time. So it got a lot of people here in the Valley really interested in this idea of teen suicide and how can we help and how can we do better. And so one of the gaps that they found was that for teenagers, I know this is going to be shocking for all of you adults listening today, that teenagers are a lot more likely to talk to each other about their problems than they are to talk to us as adults. And it took us an unusual amount of research and funding to be able to answer that question back in 1986. And with that idea, they started Teen Lifeline because they wanted to make sure that kids had a place where they could call and talk to another teenager who could really understand and relate to what they were going through. And so at that time, we were very small, and we started up in the basement of Central High School, and we started training their students to take calls from other kids. And over the years, we have obviously grown substantially as we are here in our own office now. We don't have to be in someone's basement anymore.
Yeah.
But that same peer-to-peer philosophy is still at the heart of everything that we do at Teen Lifeline. So all of the programs that have grown off of that really have that peer-to-peer philosophy in mind. We know that for teenagers like Avery, it's easier for them to not talk to adults because we are old and lame and we don't understand anything.
Yeah, well, and that's my kids say that to me all the time. So and lovingly, of course, my kids love me and I them, and I try to be there for them as much as I can, but also understanding that relationships are important. Friends are important, who you connect with on a daily basis. I mean, I have friends, close friends that I consider my family more so than siblings. And so, it's, those are important relationships to have, and should be encouraged. How many, Morgan, and don't worry, Avery, we're going to get to you because you have a lot to say, and I know that. But Morgan, how many volunteers, peer counselors are there with Teen Lifeline now?
So at any given time, we have usually between 70 and 80 volunteers.
Okay. Wow. 70 and 80. Okay. And your switchboard operates, obviously we talked about 24/7, but the peak time that you have your volunteers working here is during the week, during off school hours, right?
Yeah, so our phone number, anytime you dial that number, 24/7, 365 days a year, you're going to get connected to someone who can help. But our peer counselors, our teen volunteers are here taking calls between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. every single day of the year.
Let me throw out some stats here really quick as we sit here. So nearly 1 in 5 Arizona high school students has seriously considered suicide. That's 20%. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for Arizona children and teens following unintentional injury, so accidents we talked about. In 2019, one Arizona child between the ages of 10 and 17 died every 9.5 days. Those are, you can't ignore this stuff anymore. And not that we are, but it's something that we need to get a handle on and we need to talk about even more so. When we come back from the break, and we've got a lot to talk about this hour, and we appreciate all you folks joining us today. We appreciate our show partners for making this possible. And thank you for the support, for the families that have offered support during this time on today's difficult topic. We're gonna take it head on, and we're gonna tackle this thing. Anybody that wants to call in, 2 phone numbers to give you. First of all, the phone number to the Varsity Sports Show during this hour is 602-260-1060, 602-260-1060. The phone number to Teen Lifeline, you call it 24/7 if you need somebody to talk to, 602-248-8336. Again, that's 602-248-8336. Once again, folks, Vince DeLisio here, joining you from the offices of Teen Lifeline in Phoenix. When we come back, We're going to hear from a peer counselor, Avery, and Morgan. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back after the break. Go Varsity.
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, my name is Isaac.
Hi, my name is Evan Nagoga.
Hi, my name is Zion.
Hi, my name is Ethan.
And we listen to the Varsity Sports Show.
Are you unable to do the things you love? Do you know your daily habits could be better to enhance your quality of life? Are you suffering with chronic pain or chronic illness and can't find the right solution that works for you? Fix Body Group was created so you have a team of professionals to help you achieve your health goals and get you back to doing what you love again. In Scottsdale, go to fixbodygroup.com or call 480-795-5329. Fix Body Group, proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show and Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
It's back! Coming this fall, the Varsity Sports Show is partnering up with NFHS to bring you the Thursday night high school football game of the week. 12 regular season games, plus playoffs, courtesy of the varsity team. Join the varsity team this fall as they deliver every single down every week. Subscribe through NFHS and watch all of your favorite AIA high school football action every Thursday night this fall. The Varsity Sports Show is bringing back the Thursday night high school football game of the week. 24th Street Dental Biltmore is the place to go for cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign. Doctors Braden, Turner, and the team are ready to put your dental needs first. They are the Valley's Invisalign experts. Schedule a free exam today and mention the Varsity Show for complimentary in-house whitening. From cleanings to more comprehensive dental, 24th Street Dental Biltmore in Phoenix is the first step toward a healthier smile. Located in the heart of the Biltmore, call or stop by 602-468-1135. Proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the Summer Spotlight Series, featuring outstanding members of our community. And now, here's Vince.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio here, once again joined and at the Teen Lifeline headquarters here in Phoenix, joined by licensed social worker Morgan, and also wanted to introduce a peer counselor, Avery. Avery, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. So, Avery, you're 17 years old and you are dispensing advice. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's a really good position to be in, to be able to help people around me, just kind of be able to listen to them.
So I got to know, how did you get into this?
Yeah, so my older sister started Teen Lifeline a couple years before I did, and we were in this charity group that had it as a charity, so she tried it out, and then just kind of like watching her, I really liked. It was really interesting what she was doing. So when I turned 15, I started training, and I've been here ever since. Wow,
2 years. And you have to have seen and done it all in terms of some of the situations that you've come across. When this process starts, like let's say somebody calls in, what type of issues is there a typical issue that you see?
I think about a third of our calls are suicide, so that's probably the thing that I hear and see the most within our callers and our texters, for sure.
So if somebody's having trouble at home, or they're having peer concerns or problems at school, do you get those kind of calls too?
Yes, definitely. It's every type of call we get. There's not really anything that I haven't seen.
Okay. Yeah, knock on wood is right. And so so you have somebody that calls in and they're patched. So while you're on duty, you take a call, you answer that phone. Hello, Teen Lifeline. How can I help you? This is going on in my life. What's usually the first thing you'll say to them?
Usually I just ask them to tell me about what's going on. The majority of the time that I spend on the phone with someone is just them like telling me about their life and what their problem is, what their situation is. More than anything else is just like listening to them is the first thing I try to do.
So in speaking to you offline, I know that you had some pretty intensive training, a couple of months worth of training. Are there ever days when you come in and you're like, wow, I wasn't ready for this?
There are definitely some days that your mind is just like not ready. Like it's kind of when you're training, it's a lot to kind of take in all at once. For me, I was usually able to kind of get over whatever I was feeling and like commit myself. But like there are definitely a lot of days where sometimes it just like doesn't feel right.
You take your work home with you?
I really, not usually actually. I've kind of become pretty good at being able to like leave whatever I'm listening to at the phone.
Are most of the people that call in, most of the young people that call in, is it a situation that can be resolved with the one phone call, or do you ask them to call back, or does the organization do outreach to them? How does that work?
So if it's like a suicide or a self-injury call, things like that, we'll give them a call the next day just to kind of check in and see how they're doing. Usually the problems that our callers are facing are things that we can solve with them over the phone. Well, like we can talk about it, and usually we do our best to help them come up with like a plan that they're confident in and that they're like kind of ready to take action in. Is kind of what the goal is.
Okay, so let me give you a scenario here. I'm going to throw something at you. So and we spoke about this offline again. So I'm a kid that grew up in a very ethnic household. Very, drop the hammer. You better not step out of line or else. And, my parents love me, but I am scared to death to even go and talk to them about things. Yeah. Okay. And mom and dad, if you're listening to this, I'm giving an example. So don't get, your feelings hurt on this, but I'm trying to prove a point here. So please don't tell my parents, this is, I'm calling you out of confidence. Yeah. Please, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I just need somebody to talk to. Help me through this. How do you respond to that?
Well, the first thing I'd say is I'm in no position to tell their parents or tell anyone, because everything we do at Teen Lifeline is 100% confidential. So I'm not going to tell anyone about what's going on with them. And yeah, like I'm here to listen to them. I'm on their side. I'm here for them, not for anyone else.
Morgan, how does this training, how does it evolve into what we're sitting here at the table with Avery? I mean, take us through some of that and some of the situations they deal with.
Well, I mean, Avery's pretty spectacular as a person. So she's definitely has been a really great role model to some of our other volunteers. She was a natural when she started training, which helped us a lot. But so yeah, our volunteers get over 72 hours of training before they're cleared to actually start taking calls on the hotline. And Avery can tell you a little bit more about that process too, but all of our training is done by the clinical staff like myself here, but our peer counselors always take part in the training as well. So Avery was kind of telling you offline a little bit how a lot of our training is done in role plays. They practice with other volunteers to practice what it's like taking calls. And after all of those role plays, and even after they've been cleared for the hotline, when they're actually taking real calls, we're always processing that with them. So there's always a supervisor, a master's level clinician who's with them while they're taking calls or while they're doing role plays. And we sit down and talk about how it went. And I think that helps them to not leave here feeling sad or heavy or like they have to take that weight home with someone else.
So I'm a dad of 3 teens, and I don't always know, and luckily, my wife is much more connected with the kids' activities, but I don't always know what's going on, and I sense there's something going on, and I want to talk to somebody. Even though this is Teen Lifeline, can I call you too?
I mean, I think that a lot of the times, more so we're really geared towards teens. Because like I'm not really in a position to like tell an adult or like talk to an adult about what's going on.
Sure.
It's kind of an awkward position for both of us. But I mean, we're really open to talk to whoever.
Okay.
We're definitely open if parents have concerns or any adult has a concern about a teenager or any young person, they can definitely call the hotline and say, hey, here's my situation. What should I do? Or how should I broach this conversation? Or what resources are available? And we can definitely help you get in the right direction.
So Avery, I'm a very private person. If you haven't already seen, I'm being very sarcastic there, but I'm a private person, and I need help, and I don't want anybody to know. You said it's confidential, but do you end up knowing any of these kids that you talk to personally?
I have never talked to someone on the phone that I know.
Okay.
That's never happened to me.
Okay. So my secrets are safe then. It's very okay.
Even if like you were my best friend and they couldn't tell, I wouldn't tell anyone about what we talked about.
Yeah.
Confidentiality is really, really important, and one of the very first things that new volunteers learn about. It's one of like the only big things that can really get you like in trouble as a volunteer here is if you're not abiding by confidentiality. Our hotline is completely anonymous and confidential and free, so it's really important to us that anyone who calls in knows that they can feel free to share anything.
Well, last year, Teen Lifeline, rattling off some stats here, received more than 23,000 calls and had more than 11,000 text conversations. So you can even text that number, 602-248-8336. I'm not a big phone person. I'll text. I'll text anybody all day, every day. So if I text you, what's going to happen? Let's say I send a text and said, "Look, I need somebody to talk to." Then what? I send that text. I hit send. Then what happens?
Yeah. So whoever's here, one of us will take a text. We'll kind of get onto it, and it's basically the same thing as a call. Just see what's going on. Of course, it moves a little slower because you're texting back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's really the same thing as a call. Just kind of seeing what's going on, what their situation is, and kind of what their hopes are for what's going on and how to make that happen.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you can call and text that number, 602-248-8336. 1 in 3 calls to Teen Lifeline is from a teen considering suicide. Teen Lifeline was the first peer counseling hotline in the U.S. to be accredited by the American Association of Suicidology in 2003.
Yeah, that's a big one, Vince.
Yeah. And you're a 501c3. You rely on donations, obviously, to keep going. Maybe some grants here and there with your services. You hold various events out in the community. What are some things that you do to raise awareness?
Yeah, so September is Teen Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Here in Arizona, every year the governor declares that for us, and we go and put on resource fairs at high schools all across Maricopa County, and we bring our other community partners, and we make sure to get the word out to students about what's available, what kind of help is out there for them, and really try and reduce that stigma around suicide and mental health.
Avery, you've done a lot of work here. Is situations where you've walked away feeling good about your job? Give us some examples.
Yeah, so there was one time I was actually texting this girl, and we had been talking for a while, and just kind of by the end, it feels really good when someone's feeling so terrible at the beginning and they just kind of have some sort of sliver of hope. And she said to me, she was like, I'm just really glad to like finally have someone that I feel like I can trust. And that was one time it just felt, it really like for a lot of the calls you get off feeling like sometimes it's really hard. And that just kind of made me feel like it really was redeeming.
You said that you got into this because you followed the lead of your older sister who got into this first. What's in your situation, your support at home, supportive parents? What is?
My parents they're super supportive of everything that we do. First, my sister, I'm probably here more than she was, and they have never been like, you need to be at home more, because they get what I'm doing, and they are really supportive of all my time I spent here.
What's the age difference between you and your sister?
She's 3 years older than me.
Do you guys fight a lot? That's a joke.
We do.
Okay, all right. Okay. No, I always like to hear about sibling rivalries and things too. But but you got into this because of the modeling that your sister provided for what she was doing, and obviously she felt good enough about what she was doing to encourage you to pursue it as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Folks, stick around. When we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by our old friend Tyler Mayer with the Fitness Minute, another Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. And Tyler, who is our resident expert personal trainer, will join us, and we're going to talk about continuing to talk about this topic and talk about peer relationships and training. Stick around, folks. Thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Vince, Morgan, and Avery live from the Teen Lifeline headquarters And phone number is 602-248-8336. You can text or call that number or give us a call here on the show, 602-260-1060. Parents, students alike, give us a call. We'll be back after the break. Go Varsity.
Got the morning work blues?
Will you stop honking, Mac? We ain't going nowhere.
Don't worry. Tune in to Bob Kemp in the Sports Zone, weekdays 9 to 11 a.m. for all the best national and local sports content.
Hi, this is the Director of Community Engagement for Hospice of the Valley, Lynn Sue Cooney, and you are just not cool if you are not listening to the Varsity Sports Show, the home of youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Anna and Keith started Stessa Movement Company with their customers' clothing styles in mind. Their goal is to clothe the world your way. High-end, comfortable clothing at affordable prices. Check out their custom-made hats, shirts, masks, and vintage gear. They outfit the Varsity Sports Show crew and sponsor the Stessa Movement Company Player of the Game Award. Find them at stessamovement.ecwid.com, spelled S-T-E-S-A for style. Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vetsbuilt Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vetsbuilt is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vetsbuilt at 480-584-3675. It's back. Coming this fall, the Varsity Sports Show is partnering up with NFHS to bring you the Thursday night high school football game of the week. 12 regular season games plus playoffs, courtesy of the varsity team. Join the varsity team this fall as they deliver every single down every week. Subscribe through NFHS and watch all of your favorite AIA high school football action every Thursday night this fall. The Varsity Sports Show is bringing back the Thursday night high school football game of the week.
Your morning drive just got a little better. The Dan Patrick Show is live weekday morning starting at 6 exclusively on KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Get tips on staying healthy and active with locally renowned fitness guru Tyler Mayer. And now, here's Tyler.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. Vince, the Varsity Sports Show. Vince here with Morgan and Avery here at Teen Lifeline. And the website, by the way, is teenlifeline.org. Phone number here, folks, is 602-248-8336. You can call or text that number or call us during the show here. You've got another half hour to reach us at 602-260-1060. We are joined on the line by an old friend of ours who has a regular segment here on the Varsity Sports Show, the fitness guru and the Fitness Minute, Tyler Mayer. Tyler, how are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Vince, and good morning, Morgan and Avery. Utmost respect for Teen Lifeline and what you gals do for the local teens, and just unbelievable. And of course, condolences out to the West family and friends with that awful news this week.
You know, we talked offline this week as we were planning out this show, and because we have our normal segments that we run, and normal contributors, and obviously you are part of the Varsity Sports Show family, Tyler, and you know, and I put it to you plainly. I said, look, this is a tough topic we're going to have to tackle. Are you sure you want to still be part of this? And you said yes. So the topic today is what?
Well, you know, anything in life, we talk about, you know, our circles of influence, you know, and whether that's family, friends, small groups. You know, I find mine in faith, you know, and at a time like this, fitness seems so trivial. But, you know, I use fitness, and many use fitness as a tool to regroup, you know, feel good about the way you can feel and the way that you can look. And you know what, Vince? I'm on this side of a high school teammate and best friend, you know, that took his life, you know, many, many years ago. So, you know, the topic hits home. And, you know, nobody had any idea that this individual was struggling with certain things and had some demons that he was wrestling with. So when we look at fitness, though, I mean, you know, on a quick note to the young athletes out there and anybody, I mean, there's so much life to live. You know, we all have so much value, you know, to somebody out there. So, you know, just give life a chance, man. I mean, it's such a tough topic and such a tough subject. But, boy, you're right. I'm so proud of you guys for hitting this head on. But, you know, when we look at some good sources of support, you know, we talked about, you know, faith, family, and friends. Surround yourself with those people. Walking clubs, athletic clubs, charity fundraising teams that you can get part of and do like-minded, like-interest things with everybody. Neighborhood boot camps, neighborhood small group pickup games, sports-specific clubs that are out there. You know, one of the biggest things we do in the fitness industry is have accountability training, small group training, partner training, again, just surrounding ourselves with individuals who have goals like yours and that people you can lean on when times get tough.
Morgan, Avery, either one of you can answer this one, but how important is involvement in extracurriculars when you're having crisis?
I mean, I can't say how important it is truly. It's one of the things that we talk about as, you know, just like there are risk factors for people who might struggle with thoughts of suicide. There's also something that we call protective factors. And that connectedness is just so vital, especially to teenagers as, you know, the place that they are in their development, they need to connect and they need to be able to have peer relationships that are supportive and adult relationships that are supportive. So being involved in clubs and sports and just having a place where they get to connect with others is one of the most important things for them.
Is there a statistic, or is there do you see maybe a larger proportion of young people that are having these thoughts, these suicidal thoughts that aren't connected to activities versus ones that are? Do you see that? Obviously, the situation with Zay, I mean, he was an aspiring, you know, young student athlete, football player, did everything that involved, you know, a ball or a bat or anything else. So, but do you see that?
I'd say a lot of the people I notice being involved in an extracurricular does make that difference. Probably a lot more that feel like they have more supportive people around them are in some sort of extracurricular because it's like their friends, their people, and the ones who aren't really, or they've kind of lost that connection to whatever they're doing, that's kind of when they start to feel like they've kind of lost their way a bit.
Tyler, I have, you know, I know a lot of people that like to train on their own. How much better is it when you can rely on a peer in training, both physically and mentally?
Well, I think you just talk about the accountability, you know, and finding somebody at your fitness level or at your skill set, you know, so you can go through the succession of goals and accomplishments together. You know, there's very few individuals who are intrinsically motivated, you know, so when you have that person, if it's not a spouse, find a friend, find a small group. But I think also, and Morgan and Avery, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the more people you surround yourself with, the more people that might be able to help notice any triggers that this individual may have or may show as well. So, again, I think the more people we can rally on our individual team, the better for everybody. And, you know, we talk about hearing versus listening. You know, I can hear you, but are you listening to what somebody's truly telling you they're struggling with?
Avery, how many calls do you normally see from the same person that's really struggling, that's having a difficult time? Is it a lot of these just one call that usually happens and things, you know, you're able 90% of the time resolve or help talk them through the issue, or how does that work?
I would say a lot of the time we get people who call a couple times. It's probably kind of 50-50. A lot of our callers do call back a couple times just because sometimes we're that one person that they can talk to. But I feel like a lot of the time some of them just needed it for kind of what kind of crisis they're going through.
Morgan, was there anything you wanted to add on that with what you see from your staff here?
I think one thing that I wanted to add to what Tyler said about, the more people that you have around you, the more likely you are to get help. And I think that's very, very true. But I think one thing that's really important is that all of those people have to know, what to look for and what the warning signs are and how to get that person help. And I think as adults, when kids are little, we tell them keep each other's secrets. We've talked about loyalty is so important. And we've at some point to tell them that there are some secrets that we don't keep. There are some secrets that are the difference between life and death. And so I think that's really important for us to remind kids and to talk to them about that. If you know or you think that one of your friends is really struggling, you have to tell somebody and you have to tell an adult that you trust so that we can make sure that we keep them safe.
Tyler, in athletic training, you and me are training together. You're far and head and shoulders above anybody I know in terms of your skill level in anything athletics. But let's say you and I are training together and I hit a plateau and it's not necessarily something mental. How are you going to, or physical, I mean, it might be something mental. How are you going to help me through that?
Well, Vince, we talk about the golden nugget. When you can really get to somebody's golden nugget, the why behind what they're doing and why they're doing it. And that can change throughout anybody's journey through life, through fitness, whatever that may be. And trust me, there's been many sessions where I've had to stop myself or somebody I'm training and just figure out you're not yourself today. And sometimes you just scrap the playbook and you sit down and you talk. We're not licensed counselors, but I'll tell you, fitness professionals out there, nod your head. Sometimes we become more counselors than trainers. So we have to be very in tune with the psychology of achieving goals or the psychology of what's keeping somebody down. So, Vince, we can take that so many different ways, but when you can get to what is that trigger that's causing this setback, sometimes you just scrap it and start all over. But great point, no doubt.
Avery, and again, getting back to the extracurriculars and talking about that, and we talked about is there any kind of a statistic that says there's more people that are more apt to call in if they are only children in their household or children of single parents or no parents versus kids with two parents at home with three siblings? I mean, is there?
Yeah, I haven't noticed any kind of variation in that. I feel like it really is anybody. Like, as much as you say that, like, that's really how it is that there's not any single type of person that's more likely than another. It's everybody, kind of.
And there's no real way to know how or why or what, or, I mean, you can't necessarily pinpoint it. It just, one day you wake up and you're just not feeling right.
Yeah, everyone's kind of different in how they're feeling and what kind of causes their feelings.
Wow. Tyler, appreciate you coming on so much, talking about peer relationships, peer training. You're great, and I know this was a tough one to tackle this week. What kind of nugget can you leave us with?
Well, like I said, everybody's got value. Anyone listening out there, keep your chin up, keep life in motion, you guys, and just keep moving. There's so much feel good just having the body moving. Too much downtime is not a good thing. Find things to keep your mind and your body active. Thank you so much, Team Lifeline. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. Tyler Mayer with the Fitness Minute. There's an old saying I had an aunt that used to say was, idle hands are the devil's workshop. So anyway, I think she was just trying to get me to clean the house at the time, but that was instead of watching TV. But it's true. I mean, staying active, doing things, and it may not be the end all cure all, but when you feel purpose and you feel needed, a lot of times that's it's the best medicine. In one thing I want to talk about, and I know we're up against a hard stop here, but real quickly, Avery, getting involved with Teen Lifeline. Let's say I called in and I liked how I was treated, and I thought, man, I feel some real purpose. Well, I want to be like you. Yeah. What do I do?
If you want to be a peer counselor, I think the first thing you would do is go to our website. There's like a little training spot, and you go to there and you just apply. And then whenever we have another training coming up, whoever our training coordinator will contact you and kind of get you on the list to
That is so awesome. So when we come back from the break, we're going to be joined by Coach Joe Ramirez with the Prowlers Power, the Phoenix Prowlers women's football team. Big game tonight against Las Cruces out at Buckeye High School. I'm fortunate enough to be the PA announcer in the stadium tonight. My old friend Derek Diesner will be on play-by-play, and Brittany Boyer will be doing color analysis tonight. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back, and Derek will also be joining us here on the line. We'll be back after the break. Vince live from Teen Lifeline. Go Varsity.
The Fitness Minute is brought to you by Fixed Body Group with locations in San Diego and Phoenix. Go to fixedbodygroup.com.
Sports encyclopedias.
This book tells the future.
Well, we've got the Talking Sports version on the Sports Zone. Weekdays 9 to 11 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Hell yeah! Hello, this is Gila Ridge head football coach Jessica Slaughter, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Anna and Keith started Stessa Movement Company with their customers' clothing styles in mind. Their goal is to clothe the world your way. High-end, comfortable clothing at affordable prices. Check out their custom-made hats, shirts, masks, and vintage gear. They outfit the Varsity Sports Show crew and sponsor the Stessa Movement Company Player of the Game Award. Find them at stessamovement.ecwid.com. Spelled S-T-E-S-A for style.
24th Street Dental Biltmore is the place to go for cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign. Doctors Braden, Turner, and the team are ready to put your dental needs first. They are the Valley's Invisalign experts. Schedule a free exam today and mention the Varsity Show for complimentary in-house whitening. From cleanings to more comprehensive dental, 24th Street Dental Biltmore in Phoenix is the first step toward a healthier smile. Located in the heart of the Biltmore, call or stop by 602-468-1135. Proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
It's the Thursday Night Football Faceoff.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, and I was just telling the Morgan and Avery offline here, good help is hard to find, so my wife Cheryl recorded that intro there. I hope you guys like that, though. So for the Thursday Night Football Face-Off, every week we are, leading up to the season, we are going to feature a couple of our partner schools that'll be facing off on Thursday Night Football. We are bringing back the Thursday Night High School Football Game of the Week this fall, and this week we are featuring the Battle of the Beeline, Payson and Fountain Hills, and we are joined on the line by Payson High School head football coach, the Longhorns, Mr. Bryan Burke. Coach Burke, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, thank you so much for calling. Coach, how's your off-season going?
It's going pretty well. We, speaking of Fountain Hills, we've had them come up to Payson a couple times this summer for some 707s. We've hosted a passing league, so we've had every Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, we've had, anyone from Northwest Christian to Sholo, Winslow, Fountain Hills, all over the place, come up to and compete with us Thursday nights for passing league and some big man competition. So it's been pretty good.
We don't, and forgive me because I've got my head wrapped around the Valley so much, but we don't get to talking much about the Longhorns. Tell us a little bit about your team.
So right now we got, our school is roughly about 700 people. There's 700 kids in school. We get about 75 out for the football team. Typically we get all those guys to stay. We got a bunch of we kind of serve the Pine area all the way to Toronto Basin, so we got kind of a big area of kids that come to Payson High School. But all in all, we got good, hardworking kids that like to work hard and like
to compete, huh? Yeah. So, how big is this rivalry with the Falcons, with Fountain Hills? You call it the Battle of the Bee Line. So obviously, it's reflective of the name of the Highway 87 there. How big of a rival is this thing? Like a major rivalry here?
It is. It is. I would consider. We play in the East. And we play in a different region. So we're not in the region anymore. But that's the two closest schools that we play. Everywhere else we play is typically an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Fountain Hills is about 50 miles away. So we see them quite a bit. We've been playing every year consistently, probably for at least 10 years, 15 years or so. Over the years, it's kind of one of those things. It doesn't matter what the record is of the opposing team. It kind of goes in. You kind of go and you tweak or blank slate. So the boys love it. The boys love playing them. The fans love it. The cheerleaders love making signs and stuff. It's a fun atmosphere, fun environment, and the kids.
And what
it's good for their program.
What is the trophy of this thing? Is it like a piece of asphalt from the highway? What's the trophy on this game?
Oh yeah, it's Jason Henslin a couple years ago. He had it made, and it's a pretty sweet looking trophy actually. But he took a piece of asphalt. It looks like asphalt. They might have reconstructed it, but he took a piece of asphalt, put 2 yellow lines down the middle, and put it on a big display. And we have, for every year, we have the score, and whoever won that year, we add that nameplate to the trophy. So luckily, Payson was able to add a name on last year. But the last couple of years it was Fountain Hills.
Okay, they've had your number the last couple of years, but you guys got it last year, and so you're hoping to keep it in Payson this year, huh? All right.
That's the plan. We
All
put
right.
it in the weight room. The kids see it every day, and that's the plan.
Okay.
Kids
all
like
right.
That is home now. So.
Coach Bryan Burke, Payson Longhorns, thanks so much for joining us. We'll look forward to covering you guys this year. We'll see you on Thursday night. I believe it is going to be Thursday night, September 16th, out at Fountain Hills, and should make for a great one. Thanks again for allowing us to cover you guys, and we're sorry we couldn't get Coach Curtis on from Fountain Hills. We'll have to circle back with him. Coach Bryan Burke, Payson Longhorns. Thanks again, Coach.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
It's time for Prowler Power on the Varsity Sports Show, previewing tonight's Phoenix Prowlers football game.
All right, when you hear that, that's time for Prowler Power. So we got involved with the Varsity Sports Show, got involved with promoting, covering, broadcasting the Phoenix Prowlers. It is the Valley's women's football team. And not just, we are talking tackle football. You watch this, you watch these guys play, these ladies play, and it is, they are athletes, and they get after it. And joining us on the line is the head coach from the Prowlers. They got a big game tonight. It's their season finale against Las Cruces. Coach Joe Ramirez. Coach Ramirez, and also joined on the line by Derek Diesner, who will be on the call tonight doing play-by-play. Gentlemen, how are you?
How you doing, Vince? Good morning.
All right. Coach, how's it going? You doing all right? You all set? It's game day.
Yeah, we're excited. We're ready to finish this season and move forward.
All right. Derek, you're going to be on the call tonight. You excited? You got your game face on too?
I am, Vince. I am super excited. And Coach, I'm sure your team is hungry. A rematch from last week. Last week you played in New Mexico. This week, La Muerta de las Cruces, they come here to Phoenix. What do you hope to see out of your Prowlers squad in this season finale?
Just a better overall game, a better performance, individual performance, team performance. We didn't play very well up there. Don't know if it was the trip, the altitude, what it was, but we didn't play very well. So we hope to put 4 quarters together and play a better game.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about your offense. You've got some firepower. As when we did a game against San Diego last month, and we noticed you got a pretty solid quarterback. You've got some skill players, and putting it all together tonight. What kind of week of practice have you guys had?
Actually, very good. A lot of preparation went into this week. We know we could play better. We just haven't done it yet. We haven't put together a solid 4 quarters of football, and we haven't gelled yet as a team. But every game, every game we play is valuable experience for these girls because in the whole WNRC, we're the only team that's new to football. So we're learning as we go. These losses are very valuable experience for these girls, and sooner or later we're going to put it together, and hopefully it's tonight.
Coach, talking about some of the talented players you have, if you could touch a little bit on your quarterback, Danielle Harrison, and what she brings to this team, along with your tailback, Chelsea Arnwine. She has really been the offensive player that your squad has gone to this year.
Yeah, Danielle's awesome. She's a converted defensive lineman that started throwing the ball around and was picked to be the starting quarterback. She keeps everybody in line, and she's awesome. And then Chelsea's a very, very athletic running back. She runs hard. She practices hard. She again, then with our other weapons, we should hopefully tonight we get to gel as a team and put something out there to where we can play a lot better than we've been playing. Because we will. Maybe if it's not this season, maybe next, but it's going to come together soon, and we do have a lot of talent. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see if tonight's the night. We're ready.
Awesome. Coach, we are excited as well. We can't wait. Buckeye High School tonight, 7 o'clock kickoffs. Pregame starts at 6:30. Come on out, folks. It's going to be a great game against Las Cruces, the Women's National Football Conference. Your Phoenix Prowlers. Looking forward to it. Coach, good luck tonight. We'll see you in a few hours.
All right, Vince. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Derek, thanks again, and we'll see you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of another show, and, again, it was a difficult topic. We appreciated the opportunity to spend the morning here at Teen Lifeline with Morgan and Avery. Guys, thanks so much for providing all the insight. And, folks, in all seriousness, if you need somebody to talk to, give them a call, 602-248-8336. People are standing by. Counselors are standing by. Friends are standing by 24/7. You can text them, 602-248-8336. Call or text. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, that's the end of another Varsity Sports Show. Vince DeLisio here. We will talk to you next week. I'm going to be out of town. We'll be in Kentucky, but I'm doing the show from Kentucky. The Marshall County Humane Society should make for a lot of fun. Yes, bluegrass country. Thanks again, folks. Our producer, Aaron Decker, my good friend, Easy Ed Smith, celebrating his 200 show coming up right after me, 10 to 12 on the Easy Sports Show. Coach Smith, congratulations. Love you, man. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here, and that's a lot of responsibility. So thanks for letting me do what I do. Have a great week, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Go Varsity.
Hi, this is Avery from Teen Lifeline. Just want you to know that you're not alone, and if you need someone to talk to, you can call anytime or text between 3 and 9 to 602-248-8336.